Our first item is the report of the President. Please be reminded that a written report was distributed electronically earlier this week. The report is available on the electronic folders and on the OSCE PA app. To save time for discussion, I will not go into detail regarding what is included in the written report. Note, however, that the report did not include my recent visit to Azerbaijan, Georgia, and bilateral meetings here in Armenia this week. I will therefore take this opportunity to inform you of our discussions. First of all, let me warmly again thank the Armenian delegation and the National Assembly for hosting our autumn meeting. Not only did the Parliament manage to organize this conference in a very short time frame, but it's also the first time that Armenia hosts an official meeting of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly. Thank you. And thank you, Sargis, especially. Hosting one of our meetings is a clear demonstration of commitment to the work of the OSCE and to the spirit of Helsinki. So thank you to our colleagues Sargis, Kandanian, and to the leadership of the National Assembly, and of course to the staff for putting this event together. I think they all deserve a round of applause. Together with Secretary General Roberto Montella, we had fruitful meetings yesterday in Yerevan with the Prime Minister and the Speaker, who will join us this afternoon. We also met with the Deputy Foreign Minister. We met with the Red Cross representatives and the Armenian human rights defender to discuss efforts deployed to support refugees recently displaced. Given the recent developments in the region, I regret that some delegations chose not to attend this autumn meeting, despite the guarantees provided at the highest level by the Armenian authorities. I raised the issue with the delegation of Azerbaijan in Baku earlier this week. I hope that this will not turn out to be a missed opportunity for our Assembly. In our meetings in both Baku and here in Yerevan, we discussed the need to move forward with a peace agreement and the normalization of ties. I got the feeling that both countries are ready for peace. Basic principles seem to have been agreed to. There is a willingness to conclude this agreement soon. In this context, we need to encourage parliamentarians to add their voice to the peace efforts. Our Assembly will continue to offer its platform to contribute towards this. We should continue to explore ways that we can contribute to confidence-building efforts. Clearly, major challenges remain. There are large displaced populations whose rights must be respected. We met with their representatives to hear their experiences. We also need to continue to engage at the highest levels to make sure that all commitments made are followed, bearing in mind the role and interests of certain regional players. In between Yerevan and Baku, I was in Georgia. Our visit was a good opportunity to encourage greater collaboration among political forces to reform the country and underline that Georgia is well positioned to foster regional cooperation. We also visited the occupation line and internally displaced persons to bring renewed attention to the fact that large parts of Georgia's territory are still occupied by the Russian Federation. It was important for the OSCE to demonstrate continued solidarity with those living with the consequences of the 2008 conflict. This is a summary of our meetings this week. Let me just note that I was also accompanied by our special representative on the South Caucasus, Kari Henriksen. Thank you, Kari. Additional information is included in the press releases which have been issued during our visits. If I can refer to just one issue included in my written report, let me highlight in particular the current leadership crisis of the OSCE. Our Vancouver Declaration raised alarm bells on the situation. I shared your message when I addressed the OSCE Permanent Council in September. I also raised this directly with the chairperson in office, Gujar Osmani from North Macedonia. It is something that I'm also working on in close collaboration with the Foreign Ministry of Finland as we prepare for the 2025 chairmanship of the OSCE. I know many of you have questions about what is coming next for the OSCE. That is why I sincerely regret that the OSCE chairperson in office will not be able to attend this meeting in Yerevan, as had been envisaged. Rest assured that I did everything in my power to try to ensure his presence here. This is a missed opportunity for us to engage with the chairpersonship, but it is also a missed opportunity to mobilize political support for the OSCE in these challenging times. I will stop here, reminding you again that other issues are covered in my written report. I will now open the floor for your comments. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Please raise your country plate to request the floor.